All right, we're live right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Jason from Wholesale Dropshipping Champions. I'm alongside my co-host and co-founder of Dropshipping University, Tom Cormier, aka Ecom Tom, if you want to say hi to the people.
How's it going, everybody? We had some technical difficulties, but we are here right now. So hopefully you can hear us. Please let us know if you can hear us in the comments because we set this up really quickly. My name is Ecom Tom. Most of you probably know who I am. I run my own YouTube channel. I'm sure you've been there before. We do a lot of lives, and we're excited to get started on Jason's first ever live. So if you could, please smash that like button.
Show some
get it
love
out to as many people as possible. And so Jason has
Yes, so guys, I got a couple of announcements. First of all, I'm really excited that you guys showed up to today's live. But we have a couple of announcements. One of the things is down in the description, there is a link to the free mini course for the wholesale dropshipping course. Within there, there's a form to get started with the pre-registration, basically an early bird special, because as most of you guys know, that wholesale dropshipping course is being released this Saturday night, and that's the only way that you'll be able to get those notifications via email. So make sure you guys, after this video, watch this video, after this video, make sure you guys sign up, and that way you guys can get into it. I've had a lot of questions, there's a lot of hype built around this, so I'm really excited. Tom and I collaborated on this course, and it's something that we put a lot of passion, hard work, and a lot of time into making this. It's over 100 videos. There's tons of content in there for you guys. So I'm hoping you guys are excited. But today we actually have a PowerPoint slide that I put together. It's going to be 5 steps to easily start your wholesale dropshipping business in 2020. I'm going to go over, there's basically 5 steps that you guys can start today. Did you have some audio issues?
Yeah, I
that
forgot to
fall
plug
out?
my mic in.
All right, so Tom had some audio issues, but today that's what we're going to be talking about. If you guys have questions, we're going to be doing an extended Q&A session after the PowerPoint, after we're done with that, and then from there we're going to segue into just some other announcements. So let's go ahead and let's answer some of these questions if you guys have any questions, or let's see if people can hear us. So we got Andrea, this is her first live. Jameson Griffith, how's it going? He's excited. We have Canoe Cabras, who says yes. Ecom Tomcat is in the house. What's up, Ecom
How's it
Tomcat?
going?
Let's see, Chloe, we have Chloe from Greece, Taylor from Montana, we got Andrea from San Antonio, we got a bunch of people, so I'm happy you guys can make it. And so we're gonna get right into the PowerPoint. And if you guys, again, have any questions whatsoever about wholesale dropshipping, that's going to be the whole purpose of today. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and ask them as we go.
First slide.
Yes, so here we go. I'm going to get right into this. This is going to be step 1, okay, guys? So if you are looking to get into wholesale dropshipping, and perhaps you've done retail dropshipping in the past, or maybe you haven't even started your own eBay dropshipping store before, what you're going to want to do is obviously open up a brand new eBay account. That hyperlink right there, that will take you right to it. Obviously, you guys can't click it, but just go to Google, type, start a new eBay account, and eBay will get you all set up. It's really a simple process. You don't have to be a business account or like an individual account. It really doesn't matter for what we're trying to do. And then if you guys have done retail arbitrage in the past, and there, maybe you've had a flagged account where your promoted listings basically go to 0, you know that your account has been flagged for retail dropshipping. What you're gonna wanna do is just open up a brand new eBay account. And the way that eBay works is once you open up a new eBay account, you are not going to get it cross-linked until you start doing marketplace or retail dropshipping, something like Amazon to eBay, Walmart to eBay. Those are high-risk versions of dropshipping, whereas with wholesale dropshipping, there's no risk because we're in compliance with eBay's dropshipping policy. So all you have to do is open up a brand new eBay store. You're innocent until proven guilty in the eyes of eBay, so just go ahead and do that. I know a lot of you guys have already been doing retail dropshipping for the last 6 months, 12 months, whatever, but this is an opportunity to start up a new account. You can have as many accounts as you want, and that's really all you have to do. So that's going to be step 1. And after that, we're going to move into step 2. Tom will go over that.
A few things about, first off, about creating the new account. The only time that you have to worry about the retail arbitrage is also if you've been using the API-related software. So if you've been using, like DSM tool is a prime example of it. And AutoDS has their non-API, but they also have the API version. If you've been using the API ones, they connect into your eBay account. You have to accept it or verify it onto your account. you can go into your third-party authorizations. If you go to site preferences in your account settings, it's over to the left-hand side, and you scroll all the way down, you can tell it'll say usually the name of the software in there. Sometimes they have weird names because that's like their developer name. And if you have anything in there that's an API-related repricing tool, then you don't want to be using that account. Most likely you're flagged. And again, another question we've been getting asked is, do you need to create a brand new account if you have like an unflagged retail arbitrage account? No, you do not. You do not need to create a brand new account, but you could also, it depends if you want to separate things, because if you want to do wholesale and solely know that this account's wholesale and then solely know that this one's retail, then you could do that. Or you could just start sprinkling in wholesale listings into your retail store. It really doesn't truly matter that much. Me personally, I'm keeping everything separate, and I think a lot of people would like to keep it separate. But if you don't want to create a new account or go through that hassle again, inside of the course we do teach how to get a very high listing limits right off the bat, so you don't have to worry about rebuilding up your account's listing limits.
What did you get the other day? Like
I got
2 billion?
2 billion, yeah. So there is a way to definitely scheme the system, but again, who knows how iffy that is? How many listings I can list up if you trip anything because you're a brand new account, you have 2 billion listing limits. I don't think there's going to be that big of an issue, but again, it's kind of a newer thing that we're experimenting with here.
Yeah.
So that's that. Step number 2 is going to be start a business. So this isn't 100%. In fact, we're not trained professionals in the starting up a business or tax or anything like that. But it's pretty easy to start in a business. We're not going to tell you what type of business to start either. Most people start an LLC. And again, you don't need to be doing all of this with a business. If you want to go the sole proprietor route, you can still get an EIN number as a sole proprietor if you live in the United States, and if you live outside of the United States. You can also supposedly get an EIN number on Fiverr. Somebody said that on Jason's Instagram today.
I wouldn't do that.
I would not trust that piece of advice. But basically, you need the business in order to sign up for these wholesale agreements, or at least the EIN number to sign up with these wholesale agreements, get the wholesale contracts. It's pretty easy to be getting one. You could do it all on your own, and we do go step by step, how to do it for a particular state. I believe I showed Massachusetts in the course just because I had done it before.
Yeah.
But again, every state's going to be different based off of what state you're in, and at that point, you really just need to figure out how to do it step by step. It's pretty self-explanatory, but again, there's also services out there like LegalZoom, which is showed inside of the course, and even the services like LegalZoom, you pay like $50 extra, and they'll go apply for your EIN for you. But we also do show how to sign up for your EIN number. Pretty much it's just the social security number of your business. So, the IRS can come knocking on your door if need be, because they're tracking you and they're tracking your every movement. So when you sign up for an EIN, the only real issue that could possibly happen is signing up over a weekend. They don't even allow you to use their website or try to sign up over the weekend. You have to be doing it during business hours, Monday through Friday, and then it'll work. But it's very self-explanatory signing up for it, and it's very easy to do so. So. The reason why you need this is to sign up for the wholesale suppliers. Almost all of them will require, and if they don't, I'd be cautious, heavily questioning why. But also, you can then take this and make your eBay account a business account. And in order to get the listing limits, the 2 billion listing limits and whatnot, like I teach inside of the course, you do need to have a business account in order to do so. And it just adds more legitimacy to your business and to your account, and it puts up less red flags in eBay's eyes, I would say.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So the next thing, guys, we're going to want to do is step 3, which is actually going out and finding legit U.S. wholesale suppliers. We are looking for legitimate US-based either distributors, or we're looking for manufacturers. One or the other, it doesn't matter, because in this day and age, manufacturers can actually drop ship for you, and we talk about that in depth in the course. What I have right here, guys, is my first strategy, which if you guys have been paying attention to this channel at all, the first strategy is using targeted Google keyword searches, okay? This is completely free. All you have to do is go over to Google, but the key here is that you're using long-tail targeted keywords. We're not just, in this example, it says wholesale audio equipment supplies distributor. We're not just saying buy audio equipment. or something real generic like that, because what's going to end up happening is you're just going to find mostly retail suppliers. You're going to find marketplaces, Amazon, eBay themselves. You're going to find those companies, or even the DH Gates, the Alibabas, the massive Chinese distributors, or massive Chinese basically websites, e-commerce websites. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get super specific with the long tail keyword searches that we're doing. And another thing too, a pro tip for you guys, when you scroll down to the bottom of the page on Google search, right, you'll see search engine results page where you have all of the different links to the different websites, but at the bottom you'll see something saying related searches, and that's Google's algorithm saying these are related search queries that other people have put in, and Google is pretty much suggesting, based on their own AI, for you to search based on these keywords instead. And I've used that a lot of times when I couldn't quite get, the targeted keywords down. I like to, you have to kind of mix and match and play with those keywords, and Google helps us out at the bottom there. And then the other key thing here is using trade show sites. And one of the things that you're going to do is pretty much choose a niche that you're looking to sell. So for example, in this one, wholesale audio equipment, we would go to a trade show website for an audio equipment dealer. And with it, a trade show website for anybody who's looking to buy or sell audio equipment. And every industry that I've seen, and there's so many industries out there, they all have trade shows. And some industries even have multiple trade shows. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the website and you're going to look for an exhibitor roster or something like that. It's not always called the same exact thing, but it's pretty much going to be always there. You're going to find it either in the footer, sometimes you'll see it in the menu here, and pretty much what this does is it says these are the exhibitors, these are the merchants that are selling at this trade show, these are the ones that are either promoting or sponsoring themselves at our trade show, and they have it all there for us. It's a roster, it's a directory. We can go and click on the links or just find the names and then put them into Google, and it's all compiled right there for us. It saves us a ton of time. So that's another way to do it, and those are the two probably the two best ways that we've come up with, but Tom actually goes in depth in the course on a third way, which we haven't mentioned here. But going on to step 4, Tom's going to talk about that.
Okay, so step number 4 here is going to be, you're going to be submitting your wholesale application. So that's why you need your business information. Does it say it on here? Yeah, it does. So it's pretty much, what type of business are you right here, and then your tax ID number. Your tax ID number is, in fact, your EIN number. They have multiple names for it. You'll see EIN, you'll see FEIN, you'll see tax ID. It's pretty much all the same. So it's pretty much you just filling out the application. A lot of them are still pretty basic here. So I do show you, like, you might get handed something like this, which nobody wants to print something out and fill it all out by hand anymore. It's like, that's terrible. So I do show you that there's programs that you can use to go throw it into that program and add in like editable PDF text fields and whatnot. So you can just type it all in. Some of them will accept it through, if you sign it through like, what's it called, DocuSign, or if you just sign, and then, or some will make you sign it by hand. But they're pretty much all the same, just asking information about your company, what your address is, what's your EIN, your tax ID number. Sometimes they'll ask for your resale certificate number in the state that you're in, so we teach about that as well. So not only do you need your EIN number, you'll also need to get registered to collect and remit sales tax in your own state at the very least. And then you can go from there. And then a lot of them do also have, I don't think this one has it on here, but a lot of them will have like credit reports or credit like history.
Yeah, it's further down the page.
Yeah,
this
usually,
was just one page
I took out. So usually it's at the bottom, and it's going to be like, what are your other just suppliers that you've dealt with? I highly doubt they ever contact them, but it just shows that you do have other things.
Right, trade references and credit references. Yeah. That's basically.
And then sometimes they'll also ask for your website, which really is not a big deal because I've gotten accepted at many a wholesale supplier so far, and I have literally a $2 a month terrible website. It has like 5 items on it that don't even make sense for half of the suppliers that I'm even applying for. Yeah. I think it's just the fact that you have a website shows that you're a little bit more legitimate than somebody, say, you have to think about a scale of legitimacy here. Amazon onto eBay is probably the least legitimate form of anything you can be doing out there. Then, there's the obscure suppliers. Some of them do even ask you to show that you're a real business, but they might still be retail suppliers, onto eBay. And then there's the wholesale where you actually filled out a legitimate application. They know what you're doing. They're allowing you to drop ship their items. And at that point, they're going to be asking for a little bit more, just to know that they're not dealing with some schmuck out there that has no idea what they're doing. But again, it's even if you don't know what you're doing, because you're going to be a beginner at this, it's still, as long as you have you fit the criteria, you should be good to go. So, and even if you do get denied by one, then there's hundreds and thousands out there that you will get accepted by. So,
and this is a really important point too, guys, that I have written down on the side, which is that's step 2 of actually getting your business registered. This is why we follow a sequential order. This is why step 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all follows the other, because if there's no point in you even getting to a wholesale application if you haven't already registered your business. So it's very logical in the steps, the way that we're approaching this. You always want to get your business registered first before even contacting the wholesale suppliers. That way you know that you're covered, because you know that these companies are going to ask you for this type of information.
And then one thing also about this type of application is it might seem or look a little overwhelming upon looking at it right now on your screen, but like almost all of them are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
They might be formatted differently and have like a different header, like the company's name there, but almost all of them are asking for the same exact information.
You could get it to a point where a VA does this for you. They go and actually fill this out based on your information.
You could do that. And then also, when you submit it, a lot of the times if you don't provide them the right information, like I had some address change with my EIN or with my business, and I think my EIN shows up in a different address than the address I usually apply with. Some of them come back and question me about it, and I just show them some proof, like your SS4, which was highlighted on the other screen, is like the official document of your EIN. At that point, once you show them that, you're usually good to go. So even if you don't fill it out properly or 100% properly, don't be worried about it, because most of the times they'll just come back to you and tell you, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that, and then you just get it to them, and then you're good to go.
Right. And a lot of people might have the misconception that these wholesale suppliers, like you have to be cryptic with them or like try to dance, beat around the bush. But these wholesale suppliers, they want to work with you. They're making money, you're making money, everybody wins. It's a very good mutual symbiotic relationship. It's not like where you're trying to, jump around the system with a lot of retail suppliers, unfortunately.
Yeah, if they didn't want you, they probably wouldn't have a sheet titled wholesale account application.
Right, exactly.
So is there another slide here?
Yeah, so there's one more slide.
One last slide here, step 5.
Step 5, yeah. So, and this is actually, once we've got that application, we want to start selling the products. And the first thing I want to preface this by is saying we are using 100% API software integrated into our eBay stores. If you want. And we do teach it in the course. We also teach a manual method. But the point is that with wholesale dropshipping, since we are in compliance with eBay's dropshipping policy, we have nothing to worry about. In the past, and I understand why we did this at the time, but in the past we kind of made it seem like API software, any direct API integrated software into eBay was bad and it would get your account flagged. That's an oversimplification, because the reality is, in order for your account to get flagged, it's based on a multitude of factors, which is also known as an algorithm. That's how their system is going to automatically detect you for retail dropshipping. And then once your account is kind of under review, a person probably reviews it, and then you can get that error code 587, which basically means you're dropshipping. So my point here is that we're using API software to reprice and restock our items. There's no issues here, so don't worry about it. It's not going to get your account flagged. As long as you're keeping up your metrics, everything else is safe. The other thing we are doing in this course is using Zik Analytics, as we were in other trainings. Zik Analytics is our go-to for finding and using the competitor research tool, as well as niche research and product research. Zik Analytics is the best one. Somebody asked me the other day about like TerraPeak or something. I said, forget about TerraPeak. Zik Analytics is going to be what you want to use, because it's got the most robust system. You can find out so much information from using the competitor research tool, and we're still sniping, so that really hasn't changed that much. There are a lot of people out there on eBay who are doing wholesale dropshipping. It's not this unicorn, although it does kind of seem like that if you watch enough YouTube videos.
That's true. But another thing about the sniping is you don't have to be sniping. Again, like if you find your own wholesale supplier, then you can just list up the items. The benefit to sniping is if you have you have a brand new account with no real sales history and you don't really know what's selling or what could sell. You're a beginner at this. You don't know, like, oh, in this niche these items always sell.
Right.
You don't know that yet. So unless you do. If you do, then just start listing those items. But this is going to get you started when you first start beginning. Oh, well, I found this wholesale supplier that was mentioned in the course, and I see that, there's 2 or 3 other people selling them. There's some sales history. Now I know that this item's at least decent to list. And then you can start from there. After that, you're going to get some more experience. You're going to get the wheels churning here, and then at that point, you can kind of move on to whatever you want. It's pretty much, there's no real set guideline that you have to follow with wholesale dropshipping, where in the past, if you're following like Amazon onto eBay from like 2 or 3 years ago, it's like you use this software, you do exactly this. We're only using one supplier. We're doing this, we're doing that. But with wholesale, it's pretty much, here's how to find the suppliers, but here's also a list of some that we found for you.
Right.
You can use them if you want. Here's some people that you can snipe, but also you can go and find your own people. And there's entire directories of suppliers out there that have 8,000 plus suppliers on them, like 1,000 drop shipping suppliers. It's up to you.
The world's your oyster.
Yeah, the world's really
point.
your oyster at that point.
Yeah,
so there are bulk uploading methods where I've seen stores that are just strictly drop shipping from one huge massive supplier. Like there's some big ones out there, there's some small ones out there. There's some that only have 1 or 2 products. There's some that have 45,000 that I've seen. So it really is up to you to what you want. If you have one that's 1 or 2 items, you can really figure out that item if it's good or not, and then if it's good, then you're really just selling that one. But also, I've seen people bulk upload entire just inventories of entire distributors out there and just sell a decent amount, but again, none of their items are optimized because they have 45,000 items up there and they never went through it.
Yeah. So I think that's it for our PowerPoint. I think that does a good job of kind of encapsulating everything. And we're going to get right into your questions. But before we get into your questions, make sure to smash that like button. We got 40 people on watching right now. Show me some love. This is my first ever YouTube Live. I'm super excited to be alongside.
Seeing a lot of familiar faces in the comments here.
Co-founder of Dropshipping University, Ecom Tom. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking your time out on a Monday, and we're going to get right into your questions. So Tom, if you want to start that one off.
This first question is above my pay grade here.
Okay.
It says, can you advise, it's above yours too, I already know. Can you advise where we can buy a virtual credit card, which I'm guessing is what that stands for, or a credit card that Amazon accepts for verifying an account? I tried so many and they don't work, and it seems mostly frustrating. Honestly, I have no clue. Look on, what's that website?
Aspkin. A-S-P-K-I-N.
Yeah, aspkin.com.
They're the ones that write the stealth guide.
It's a stealth account guide out there that, there's a big forum. Just start looking in there, because when I was looking through stuff for Amazon, you'll see it there. I've just never really deeply researched it.
Yeah. So Alicia Crowley says, hi from the UK. Nice to have you here, Alicia. Lazy Abram, yo, you were right. There's a lot of familiar faces. Dan Zemvlich is here. He says, slip me that course today. I won't tell anybody.
There's still videos to blur, so I'd rather not.
Tom's got a couple more videos to blur, so we'll leave it at that. Barry D. Hart says, if you have multiple drop shippers, how do you track out of stock items? So, I mean, that's gone over, in depth in the course, but at the end of the day, it's really pretty much the same as retail as far as having multiple suppliers.
It depends on what software you want to use, how you want to go about it. It's really up to you. Some of these suppliers won't provide you anything from what I've seen, the CSVs and all that stuff, they're not even going to provide you that. So it's literally you having to check in. But again, you have to realize that if a supplier is not going to even provide you anything, I highly doubt they're going to be changing their prices or anything very often. And if they're a supplier that's not big enough to provide you a CSV file of their items, they most likely are a manufacturer, and they most likely have those items in stock pretty damn consistently, if not always.
Yeah, and one of the things too, guys, I talk about in the course is weighing out the risk versus reward of dealing with a supplier that might not be good. So in the sense that they don't give you a stock sheet that's updated, or they don't have any XML feeds or anything that you can kind of integrate and get a live feed of their inventory, and it just so happens that they do fluctuate stock more than you'd like, it's probably not best to use that supplier. That's the beauty of wholesale dropshipping. There's so many wholesale suppliers out there for every sub-niche, every niche, every category. They're out there. There's tons of them, US-based ones, and there's great ones too. We have some that, you got a couple of sales today, and they had the tracking number to you.
I didn't even optimize anything. All the sales I made today were from items that I just listed.
How long did it take you to get the tracking number? Literally less than 24 hours.
I ordered it at I woke up early today. I ordered it at 8 in the morning, and then, we're also on the West Coast, but I ordered at like 8 in the morning. I had the tracking number like an hour later.
Yeah. So if you guys think about it, some of these wholesale suppliers they have very aggressive shipping times. They're using smart logistics where they have fulfillment centers on the West Coast, East Coast, and the Midwest somewhere. So a lot of these suppliers are very, very aggressive, and we can compete with selling their
And
products.
their job is to get out the items. Like that's what you signed up for. That's what their job is. If you're drop shipping from Walmart, their job isn't to get out the items for you because you're drop shipping by a certain handling time. Their job is to get the item out and hope that they hit their handling times. The same thing with Amazon Prime. How many times have you ordered an Amazon Prime item and it came 3 days later instead of 2?
Yeah.
Like they tried to make it 1 day, but I don't even think that's possible for them at the moment. And they're getting so much traffic to their website every day that it's just like it's very hard for them to keep up. But with these wholesale suppliers, they're not really getting the traffic. They're only getting traffic from people that are who they're supposed to be servicing from dropshipping. Does that mean that there isn't a chance that some of them could screw up? No, I'm sure some of them can screw up.
Yeah, but that's why you want to hold them accountable, and that's why I've given you guys scripts to hold these wholesale suppliers accountable, because if they can't get them out in a certain amount of time, not only is it worth you reconsidering using them in the future, but it's also worth you reaching out to them and saying, hey, can you give us some credit to your store? Can you give us a partial refund, etc., stuff like that. You want to be aggressive and assertive, but you want to pick your battles too, and I talk about that in depth in the course. So Drop says, yo guys, how are you? I'm doing pretty well, thank you. Hector's from Mexico. How's it going, Hector?
I wanted to see if you understood what HRY stood for. If you were going to try to pronounce it. It's how are you? I'm guessing.
Okay. I'm not into the ebonics of the internet.
So W Travis says Inventory Source has its own inventory management application. Are you still using SKU Grid in this course? No. So we are talking about Inventory Source inside of the course, fairly in depth with multiple different methods to using it. 3 different ways to actually use it, and you could go into SKU Grid. We have not gone into it in the course yet. The course is already over 100 videos long, so
we haven't even updated it.
Yeah, I would like to at least see how that goes for the first month maybe before it gets an update, because SKU Grid, again, it does have the ability to reprice with these. SKU Grid does have wholesale suppliers on it, but it's not that many, and it's a lot of the ones that are on SKU Grid are also on Inventory Source. So again, they do have the ability to reprice through a CSV though, which is interesting. I don't know how it really works, and I do want to put more time into working with it, but it's definitely not ready yet.
So that kind of goes off the next question too, from Travis42 saying,
that's literally the question. I just read that question.
Oh, okay. My fault.
So Cody Robertson says, hey bro, and then how's it going? And then Christian's asking me a question about my Amazon account. He says, sup guys, curious to know more about the suspensions you've gotten on Amazon. I've never been suspended on Amazon. So this next question about me getting suspended is, I've never been suspended. It's incorrect information. Tom, I know you got that one with Walmart, with a Walmart brand that was on the do not list. The one that I got from a Walmart brand was them asking me to provide proof of purchase. It was never a suspension, and it was not on the do not list sheet. It was just a common brand that they have. I went to Walmart, I bought it. I sent a picture of literally my receipt, and I was good to go. I do not suggest doing that 100%, but I also don't suggest dropshipping Walmart onto Amazon. It was about a year ago now, and it's definitely not the way to be going. And then he said that recently I got one with a respirator. Again, that wasn't a suspension. They said they were going to call me within 72 hours. It's been like 5 days. They've never called me, but I'm just sitting here waiting. They said my account was under review. I can still sell. I could still do whatever I want. I just took all my items down just in case they were going to come down. If they don't answer me or call me within like a week or something, I'm just going to throw them back up. Like Amazon, their reasoning was that it was the coronavirus and I was price gouging. First off, I didn't even know I was selling this mask, which I guess isn't the best thing to tell Amazon, but I had it listed since October. I don't think I had even sold it until coronavirus went wild and people were buying it.
Wasn't it for construction?
Yeah, it's a construction. It's like a half-face respirator. It's huge. It's massive. It's made out of plastic. It's nothing you walk around like in public with.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm just taking the money out, hoping nothing bad happens. I assume nothing bad's gonna happen, and then we'll see in about a couple days. They've never called me.
You know what they say about
I'm upset. I've been
assumptions.
waiting for their call.
He's been up all night waiting for them. So Christian says, then Jason, that one with the VAP, I think you mean MAP, MSRP violation. Any other ones you guys got? No. So that was the one that I had, and I talked about that, unfortunately, in depth in the Amazon course. It wasn't fun for me to relive that moment, but yeah, that did happen. And I do go in depth in this new wholesale dropshipping course about MAP, which is minimum advertised pricing, and I show the relationship between MAP and MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, and really weighing out the risk versus reward when selling on eBay. And you're gonna see, guys, you're gonna see other people on eBay who aren't respecting the MAP policies when they should be. But what do you do in that situation? Well, it kind of depends on if the manufacturer, the brand owner, actually has any way of policing it. If they do have a way of policing it, then you have to weigh up, is it still worth me selling these? Because the opportunity might still be there to make a lot of money in the short term with this distributor, but that might not be the best long-term plan. So I talk about that in depth. You guys are definitely going to learn a lot about pricing, keystone pricing, real wholesale pricing, MSRP, and MAP. So
yeah,
I'm
Christian
happy you
basically asked that question to gauge, more of a risk with how much of the risk is with retail dropshipping on Amazon. And honestly, Christian, I feel like you're getting into, this is because we've known you for so long, you're getting into your typical where you overanalyze things for like months on end before you take action on it. And just, not to sell Walmart onto Amazon. And at that point, just take it slowly, be very cautious about it, maybe even I'd suggest start nowadays possibly doing what they call it. What do they call it? Warming up your account or whatever.
Seasoning your
account.
Yeah.
Or just have your account sitting there for a while, because that'll let go of some of the triggers, because there's definitely new account triggers inside of Amazon. We may have seen it firsthand the other day.
And eBay, I think that's starting to be more of a thing. What they call them inside, internally, is like velocity threshold or a velocity review. We commonly know it as.
They called it like a listing surge.
Yeah,
I believe they called it
was.
technically inside of Amazon. So you have your listing surge, which I checked, and it was when I had listed on other person's account, it was like 10 items. So again, maybe even keep it like 1 to 2 items, and or just do the seasoning of your account, and then maybe I don't even know at that point. You could possibly buy all your items up front, and that's one thing we've also considered for newer accounts in the future. If we do plan on taking on other accounts that are, either automation or whatever you want to call it, buying items, actually sending them into Amazon, or at least buying them so you have physical proof that you bought them and you have the invoices, and then sending them out yourself to a certain point, maybe a month and a half, and then at that point going to the drop shipping. But if you've been selling on Amazon before, then you're most likely all set to keep going. At least just do it carefully.
So going off of that too, guys, and we've had this question a multitude of times in the last 2 weeks, is will this course be able to provide me with the know-how to sell on Amazon doing wholesale dropshipping? And the answer is yes. The principles, the core fundamentals of this course are also applicable to selling on Amazon. But the premise of the course is eBay wholesale dropshipping, and what that means is that all of our demonstrations are specific to eBay. We're showing you inside of our eBay stores, promoted listings, using all of the tools and features inside of eBay. We're not going inside of Amazon accounts, but again, could you go out there and learn, take the principles and then apply it to a different selling platform, whether it's Amazon or not? Yes, you absolutely could, but that's not the premise of the course. So,
and again, it's like, imagine if we tried to do, if it's 100 videos long with just eBay, imagine how many it would be if it was eBay and Amazon.
Oh, it would be endless.
You'd probably just, you'd go insane literally listening to our voices for that long.
So we got 45 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for coming out to my very first live YouTube live. Smash that like button for me. Show me some love. And we're going to get through the rest of these questions, and let's do it. So Christian says, Hydro Farm, someone's a hemp grower. Ha, ha, ha. No, I am not a hemp grower. That was a supplier that I never ended up actually going through with, but I like to use them for examples just because that application is pretty damn standard. John Arducci says, I'm late.
That's upsetting.
Sorry, John.
You can't be late. This is unforgivable.
Tom can do this next one from
Can
Saab.
you tell us how to just buy wholesale from wholesalers? That should probably be easier than drop shipping agreement. What? How to just buy? Well, if you want to just buy wholesale from wholesalers, you get an agreement with a wholesaler that also has a wholesale agreement. You just buy from them. It's the same exact thing, except you're buying in bulk. You might want to do a little bit more research if the items are going to sell properly. What requirement wholesalers ask? Do they accept newly registered LLC? So again, it's the same exact thing we just showed. We said website, LLC. They can't tell when it was really registered. They can. I mean, if they really searched, you just say like 2-3 years. It's fine. And they can't tell when your website was made. I mean,
again, if they really wanted to, they could. If they wanted to go the extra mile of doing a business lookup with the registration state, your state registration, they could do a business lookup and find you that way and see exactly when you started.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. You know, a college application isn't even that. They don't even go in that depth. You know what I mean? A job opportunity probably won't even go in that depth. So don't overthink it. And again, if they wanted to find out exactly when you started your Shopify store or whatever store that you have, your own domain, they could again do a lookup using a web archive like what is that? The Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
they could if they really wanted to. Nobody's going to do that. Think about it. There's only so much time in the day. They're just putting in these basic filters to make sure that, you know, you're legit. And it's easy for them if they've done this for long enough to find out if you're legit or not. They're not going to go that extra mile. And we talk about making shell websites, presenting to the wholesale supplier that you have a legit industry-specific or niche-specific domain, and that adds legitimacy. That's what this whole process is about, adding legitimacy, increasing our rate of acceptance with wholesale suppliers. So don't overthink it, guys. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. You know, I've stripped this down to the basic things for you guys. So just keep that in mind.
So you get the next question.
Okay, so Rio says, how much is the wholesale course going to cost? We came up with the price since it's our flagship product, more premier product. It's going to be $997. But if you get in on the pre-registration, you're going to get 40% off plus 2 weeks advantage on everybody else when we officially drop the grand opening for this course on April 1st, April Fool's Day. So, you know, make sure to get in. Again, the link is down in the description. That will take you to the free mini course. Within the free mini course is a form. That is for the pre-registration. You guys will get a bunch of email notifications if you haven't already.
So the pre-registration launch is on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
Saturday night at midnight. So I'll be celebrating.
Oh, it's at midnight?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted
going
it to be
into
on
Sunday.
Oh, I wanted to be all day Saturday. All right, so Ecom Tom says, "Ask Ken." When we were saying "ask,"
it's a hard word
You're
to
actually
say.
right.
I don't know.
I don't know why they threw a P in there or whatever. Yeah, no, it's "ask Ken." You were correct, and Christian also corrected you, or let you know you were right. Stephen Loyoza says, "Do you need to use SKU Grid with wholesale items?" Again, no, you do not need to use SKU Grid. There are some wholesale suppliers on SKU Grid if you want to use them, if you feel proficient in it. But I'm assuming you asked that question because you don't like SKU Grid. But so you know you don't need to be using SKU Grid. You could there's like many ways you could be doing this. If your supplier doesn't give you a CSV, then you pretty much have to assume that your supplier is not going to change price, or just check the website manually. And I know that we've had people in our course that they come out of the woodwork saying, "Oh yeah, I have 400 items that my VAs have been checking manually. It's time to move over to SKU Grid." I'm like, "Wow, you've been doing it for that long."
Yeah, and the thing too, I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to. The thing with that is too, with wholesale dropshipping, we see much more stable, static inventory levels. That means that they're not, going all over the place, in and out of stock, in and out of stock. We see that happen with retail all the time, and the prices with retail are constantly moving around. And that's one of the greatest advantages with wholesale dropshipping is we get the static or stable pricing, and we get that stable inventory level. And now, granted, sometimes they do go out of stock, and that's why we have software for it. But the point is that if you want to do this manually and have a team of virtual assistants, they don't have to go into the supplier's website and check every single day. You can put in a procedure where they check every other day or every once per week, because you're still kind of decreasing the likelihood of you selling an out of stock product. But you really don't need them going in there every single day and manually checking. It's not going to fluctuate that much, and that's what we've seen. And again, that's a huge advantage of wholesale dropshipping.
Yeah, so I don't even remember what I was saying, but so we'll move on to the next one here. Christian says, "How do you siphon through suppliers who provide fulfillment for dropshipping? Most only do bulk orders or have MOQs." Well, there's these things called directories. So we do talk about some of the directories inside of the course. Those you can actually just filter through, and they've already found out that those people allow dropshipping. So that definitely helps out. Some of them you can filter based off like eBay or Amazon in some of these directories. But I honestly think if they allow dropshipping, you might as well just call them up and say, you know, like, do you allow eBay? If it doesn't say that they allow eBay. And then after that, I mean, if you want to go through large lists of wholesalers to see if they do dropshipping, at that point you might have to call them. But, you know, we have enough inside of the course with like inventory source, like we were saying, and other things out there and all the directories that you're gonna have a start, a good start. You're gonna have at least probably, I'd say like 500, no more than that, probably like, legitimately probably like 750 drop shipping suppliers, wholesale drop shipping suppliers that you could at least source through, or and if you can't find something there, then I don't know what to tell you.
And here's the other thing too, is that in this day and age, right? This is 2020. We're not talking about 1995. This is a new age of, you know, e-commerce and retail and wholesale and how this whole system works and how the supply chain works. A lot of these manufacturers and a lot of these wholesale distributors do have retail arms. And that's one of the biggest indicators. If they have their own retail storefront in some capacity, that means that they're getting the products from their warehouse and shipping it to an end customer, right? And now, how can we get into this and actually leverage them to fulfill the items for us, aka drop shipping? And a lot of times they will do it for us. And that's part of the process of calling them up on the phone or making an inquiry, a wholesale inquiry, and asking them, you know, I can see on your website that you have an MOQ of 50, but for my needs, can you actually drop ship one product? Can you do single item fulfillment? So I go over that in depth, and there's a lot to it, but a lot of it just comes down to being personable and calling them and asking them these direct questions, and they'll make exceptions. Tom heard me on the phone the other day with one of them, and I got this on recording, where he said, you know, we don't want people drop shipping our products on marketplaces. And I basically bullied him into letting me drop ship the products on eBay. So, you know, you guys will have a great opportunity to watch me in action do that.
That's very true. We also had somebody that, I forget what they were, maybe on Instagram or something, where they were like asking, how do we get around if they ask for a picture of our retail front? And, you know, first thought would be that you don't know, that you can't get around that. But then I literally just commented, did you call them and ask if you could get around? And he goes, I like the way you think, Tom.
Yeah.
It's just, you need to, I wouldn't even call it thinking outside of the box. It's just doing the things that you know you need to do, but you don't want to do because you don't want to call them.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what anything in business is. You're doing the things that you know you need to do, but you don't want to do them. I think that's how to grow in life 101 in general.
That's very, very true.
So Rio says, move to Miami, no state tax in Florida. Florida sucks, honestly. I would never move to Florida. I've thought about it, but I could never do it.
We would fit in with our Hawaiian shirts down in Miami.
That's about it. Christian says, dope. So, Tom, you've never been suspended? Nope. As I said, I've never been suspended. But at least you've had to send in a POA. If you've been on Amazon, you haven't had to send in a POA of some sort or anything, then
you're not doing volume. That's for sure.
Yeah, I praise you. I don't know how you get around that. I mean, anytime you get in trouble with a brand or anything like that, you know, you don't get suspended necessarily, but you do have to send in something if you want them to remove it.
Right.
Is there any way to check for Vero versus EXT
extension, I think,
versus extension in Chrome? There's many ways to check for Vero. I still use the Vero Checker Chrome extension, and everybody says it has bad reviews. I looked it up for the course why it has bad reviews, and it's because people try to cancel their credit card, I guess, and they keep charging them. But it's only $199 a month. I mean, I can understand being slightly upset about it, but I'd never be upset enough to leave a review at that point, I don't think.
The bad reviews aren't from the functionality of the Chrome extension.
No, it's literally people complaining about it, just cancel the credit card or just change a new one.
Where were we?
Jane Cook gave us a smiley face, glasses.
Christian says, my bad for bringing up that experience. Coach Jason just looking for foresight. It's all right, man.
Amazon experience.
It's somehow it seems to come up in every YouTube live we do, but you know it's part of the territory of this. So Ecom Tomcat says, to preempt PayPal jail, what do you think of not using PayPal on eBay and using eBay payments and payment system?
Are you still in PayPal jail? I feel like you've been doing this for a while, Ecom Tomcat. Are you still in PayPal jail? Like, I don't think you should be in PayPal jail.
I wonder if he thinks that if you start a new eBay account for wholesale dropshipping that you'll get put back into PayPal jail. No. And that's another thing I probably should have said earlier, guys, if you start a new eBay store, you don't need to get a new PayPal account, and you don't have to have like a stealth PayPal account or anything like that. You can just use your exact same PayPal, email, your same PayPal account for multiple eBay stores. eBay has no problem with having multiple stores.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the comments.
It's all right.
Dropshipping Visual says, you guys need to stop flirting with us and just release the course already. I need it. And then he also says, don't move to Miami, LOL, unless you want to pay $1,800 for a studio apartment behind somebody's house. No, I don't want to do that. I actually got approved or pre-qualified or whatever with a company for a mortgage today. Decent amount of money. I'm very excited. And I'm going to look to buy a multifamily house in the Boston area and use that as like a home base, and then move there and then just move around. So
guys, smash that like button. Give Tom some support for his mortgage endeavors.
Hey, it's hard when you don't have a real job. I'll tell you that.
It is true. It's very true.
I just create my Amazon UK. When should I add products? I mean, I don't know. Just add them. If you're talking about the waiting out period that I said, it's really iffy. I don't know how Amazon UK works. I'm assuming Amazon UK is completely wildly different than Amazon.com, just because it's Amazon, and I don't want to give any advice on something I have no idea about.
Yeah. So Dropshipping Visual says, don't move. Oh yeah, he already did that. How much is the course? We already talked about that. Mo says, I just got scammed for $200 USD trying to buy a stealth account.
Well, if you thought a stealth account only cost $200, then I feel bad, but they're not going to be $200. Especially
was it somebody was it somebody lurking on the Facebook group? If it was somebody in our Facebook group, at least let an admin know so we can kick them out. Those people are bad news. They're literally like leeches. Yeah. They're everywhere. Greg Endham says, hey guys, how much additional training for your VAs did you do going into wholesale require?
How much extra training do you need to train your VAs?
Yeah, no. So it's a lot of what I had taught my virtual assistants when I was doing retail dropshipping was applicable to the wholesale dropshipping as well. They transitioned. Obviously, I had to make new training modules for them because it was, different suppliers, different, repricing stuff, all that. It was different, but at the end of the day, they understand the concept. They understand what I'm trying to accomplish. They understand that we have to make profit on every sale. So they had no real issues listing the items. It's just, a couple of different things that I put into place for them. So at the end of the day, right, it's your business. We've had people ask us, can you guys give us your training videos for your virtual assistants? And I always say, no, you guys want to actually make the training videos for your own employees because it's your business, right? You want it to be run the way that you want it to be run. Everybody runs their business different. So, I don't know if you were kind of going down that route, but it's really not that much different. What do you think about that?
Well, you have to realize that even if you were to introduce a new supplier on a retail arbitrage dropshipping, like if you were to do Walmart and then you want to move on to like Sears or something, you're still going to have to teach them new things. Like you can't just expect, hey, this is a new website, here you go. Like you have to at least provide them videos and training and everything like that. Yeah. So yes, there might be a few extra steps, maybe some new software. But again, with anything new that you're going to be doing on your business, you're going to have to train them. So you just have to get used to constantly training them, and it's not that much work. Once you make them a couple videos, some long-winded videos, they should hopefully get the gist of it, or just do a one-on-one with them, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. I don't think if that's a factor getting you to stop doing it, then I think that's a lame excuse. But it's really anything comes with training your virtual assistants, and the fact that you have them means you're at least taking the initiative forward to have virtual assistants, which is already a good step.
That's true. So Differential Equation says, what are some easy wholesale suppliers to get started, sort of like the Walmart for drop shipping? Tom actually said that to the other day. He said the Walmart of wholesale drop shipping. He had me dying. It's funny that you said that. It's true. So we actually did. We kept that in the back of our mind. We made this new course, what is going to be the plug-and-play Walmart version of wholesale dropshipping. So we got you guys, and you guys can kind of follow a couple of different roadmaps that we put in place. You want to go the more plug-and-play method like that, no problem. If you want to go off and do your own thing and try to find some new wholesale suppliers that nobody else is using, you can do that too. We even have advanced lessons lessons where you take a bulk CSV and then throw it up on eBay and just go with that. So we have different roadmaps, different avenues for you to take, but we did keep that in the back of our mind.
I knew people needed the Walmart of wholesale dropshipping.
You can thank Tom for that, because it completely, I just completely forgot about things like that, getting back to the basics for beginners.
So Steven Loyosa says, how do you follow up with your repricing of items doing wholesale? So we already pretty much answered this. Either, if you don't get any files at all, then you're just going to assume that they're not going to change that much, and you just check the website every once in a while. If you do get CSV files, you could either check them or have a virtual assistant be checking them all the time. There is a way to possibly integrate it with SKU Grid, but I don't want to really get into that right now because I personally don't even know how to do it. I just know that they do have the ability to do so. At that point, you could have virtual assistants, but again, they're not going to be changing that often. Prices, stock, that they're usually a lot better. It's going to be a lot better than Walmart onto eBay or anything like that. And then afterwards, there is a software that has, I think they have 236 dropshipping suppliers. Not all of them are good on their website that integrate, and they have automatic repricing for it. They even have auto ordering for a lot of them. So if you really, I think it's like, what is it, $50 or $75
so it's a
month
little extra more money.
It's a little more expensive, but
time.
I woke up this morning and had to order an item. Well, I did one last night too, but this morning it's like, wow,
a lot of work.
I don't know how I feel about that. So
Stephen Loyosa said, thank you. Happy to help you out, man. Dropshipping Visuals says the course is $1K, but you are giving 40% off early registration, $997, not $1K. And yes, 40% for pre-registration.
40% will be $597, by the way. I feel like saying 40%. Not everybody can visualize the $597. It's a large.
Take advantage of that early bird special, guys.
Your cousin's in
we're
here.
Trying to help you out. How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Alexander.
Ecom Tomcat says you'd fit in Puerto Rico, Tom's favorite place.
Of course I do. What niche categories do you recommend to start selling when using inventory source? Any specific suppliers that software? We're not going to mention the suppliers. Obviously, that's pretty much one of the main parts of the course, or a larger part of the course. In some of the niches, I just stay away from bad niches, I guess. Like, I don't like clothing. I don't like really mainly clothing or toys and stuff like that.
Glass products.
I probably wouldn't do food if I were you, because it's
perishable.
It's perishable. Expiration dates.
Plants are also perishable. I've looked into those before too.
Dropshipping plants.
Plants.
I found a bonsai tree dropshipping company.
Yeah, well, there's certain plants that are less perishable, but I wouldn't sell plants. It's a bad idea.
Do you think you could sell cilantro?
No, I wouldn't do it.
I think that would perish.
Cactus would probably be good.
Yeah, cactus.
Besides that, I wouldn't do it.
So Alexander asks you, could you elaborate on the proper form used for shuffling a deck of cards, Jason?
Nope, I'll keep that for another day.
Is this the name phase? Do you know any course for Amazon UK dropshipping? I bought your course, but I need UK suppliers and a brand list that I should not list. Honestly, if you can take what we teach and then put it into the UK. I do not know any courses about the Amazon UK, but you can easily connect the dots here, I believe. And if you just check on SKU Grid has the UK. You can do all of that on Amazon, and you should probably be pretty good.
Yeah, so we got what, 5 minutes left. Go ahead and smash that like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I put out content every single week. I'm trying to do like 2 videos per week, maybe 1 live plus a video. But going forward, definitely trying to get as much videos out there for wholesale dropshipping and just eBay dropshipping and Amazon dropshipping. I sell on all the platforms. I've been selling on all the platforms for like 3 or 4 years now. So I'm trying to give you guys as much content as possible. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get to the last bit of questions here. So where were we? Stephen Webster. I tried to get reseller permit today from the states that I have tax filing first.
You've probably not been paying your taxes.
You got to pay your taxes, man.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, that's definitely what it is. If you called up the state, wherever your state is, and they said you need to file your taxes or pay your taxes or whatever, you got to straighten that out with the state first.
Like, I even got duped into signing up my business into Louisiana, and I had to pay them like $30 franchise tax, and now I need to unincorporate.
Yeah, it's like dissolution or something.
And it's like, I got duped into that in Colorado too. I was full getting duped. Andrea says, buy in Texas. I know, is that San Antonio, Texas realtor? I believe you are the San Antonio, Texas realtor, Andrea. But no, I'm not going to move to Texas. Probably not.
Not for a while.
Hector Espinosa says, not really sure if you already mentioned it, but what paperwork do we need as a foreigner to get a reseller certificate? So, Hector, were you the one that bought the EIN off of off of Fiverr.
He was.
You were the one that bought the
think it
EIN
was
off Fiverr.
him.
How the hell did you buy an EIN off of Fiverr? Did they just give you like 8 random numbers from a number generator?
That was him.
Like, what did they give you? There's no way that you got it off of Fiverr. But yeah, you need an EIN number, preferably, most likely not off of Fiverr. I don't know if they gave you a legit one, but part of me thinks that Fiverr is not the place to go. To get a foreign reseller certificate, you need just an EIN number, right?
You need
and
that
then
EIN
register,
number.
and then you're gonna get you don't get a sales certificate. You fill out a resale certificate. You need to get a sales tax ID, which you need an EIN number to get that. So you're gonna sign up, get your EIN number. Then if you're going to sign up in your specific state that you live in or you have your business based out of, then you're going to sign up with the Department of Revenue to get your sales tax ID, which then you fill out a resale certificate with, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, guys, and also if there's anybody out there who's buying an EIN number, and I don't want to pick on you with the Fiverr thing or whatever, but an EIN number is designated to you from the IRS. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for it. You just go on and fill out the SS4 form as we showed in the PowerPoint in the beginning, and you should be all set. So moving on, let's see. Rio says, do you guys have course content for multi-state tax exemption for those of us still doing retail dropshipping? Yes, that's
part of our eBay and Amazon course.
It's in our eBay and Amazon course, manual eBay dropshipping course. That's the course that's been out for about a year now. Tom goes in depth actually.
Yeah, we can't say the links in the description because I don't think you have it, but message me on Facebook or something if you're interested, and we can talk about it. Pretty much teaches what you're going to need to know.
Yeah. So Ecom Tomcat says, Tom, Real Estate Pro. So is he okay? Tom, Real Estate Pro tip: go listen to Jason Hartman. Google him, high quality info.
I don't like the sound of him already. I don't know if I like it.
He's got the same name as me. Can't be good.
I don't like it at all. I appreciate it.
Christian says, congrats on the mortgage, Tom. P.S. You know the root words of mortgage, right? More death cage contract.
So it's death contract is what he's saying. No, I did not know that was the root words. That's not what I studied, or I haven't looked into it very in depth, but I appreciate the Latin.
Christian says, next course, Shopify or real estate investing?
I do not think I'm qualified for either of those.
You might get pre-qualified for one of them.
Pre-qualified. That's very true. John Arducci says, I am a broke dropshipper and can't afford your fancy courses. John, honestly, you're the only one I've seen still dropshipping Amazon and eBay and doing well. So, you at least have
Save
that.
up. Save up for a little bit. Amazon will pay it.
Sup, guys? I forgot about the hour change. Did we? Oh yeah, we had a time change.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, we had a time change.
That was yesterday, though.
That was 2 days. What day is it?
Today's Monday.
I don't even know what
that
day
was
it
over
is,
24 hours ago. Your phone should have reset on you there.
All right, we're all out of questions, and we're literally at 2 minutes left until an hour. Do you want to hit an hour on your first ever live, Jason?
So
you need 2 minutes.
I'll do a long-winded outro.
Wait, we have one more question. Have you guys ever done Shopify?
Yes. So I've done Shopify.
Inside of the course, I actually do
years.
talk about Shopify. I am an inexperienced Shopify.
Tom's a young Shopify come-up.
I'm a Padawan.
He's learning the Shopify game, and the longer he stays in Shopify, the more he's liking it. So I'm gonna have to convince him.
I like it.
I'm gonna have to convince him otherwise. Anyway, but thank you guys so much again for coming out to my very first YouTube live alongside my business partner and your coach and mentor, Ecom Tom. And again, guys, the link down in the description is to the free mini course for the wholesale dropshipping. Within that free mini course, you will find a pre-registration form for the upcoming course,
should have made it
which
easier.
will be on the 14th, going into the 15th. So, make sure you just put your information, your name, and your email, and you guys will get those direct email notifications as soon as the course drops. 40% off plus 2-week early registration before all your competition, before everybody else gets word of the content that we're dropping. It's 100 videos, over 100 videos taught by Tom and myself. It's actually about 50-50%.
Yeah, you said 70-30 the other day.
I thought it was, but Tom corrected me. And so I hope you guys are really, pumped for the drop of this course. And
I'll make it easier by putting a Google form in the pinned comment after this, because signing up for the mini course and everything else it's just challenging. It's challenging. So I made a Google form. It's a lot easier. Just a little email. You're good to go.
Fair enough.
So smash that like button one last time, and Jason's going to sign off, aka I'll sign off for him. Let's get into this. Stop streaming. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Peace.